Good morning, it's Chad C. here at C Real Estate here in Richmond, Virginia. Today I want to talk to you about owner financing. And owner financing is a way to sell your house that can be very beneficial, can be a great option for certain home sellers. You can be an owner occupant, someone who lives in your house and you've decided to sell it, or you can be an investor. There's an investment property that you no longer want to manage or maintain and you've decided to sell it. Owner financing is worth thinking about. First of all, let's look at it from the investment standpoint. If you have owned this investment property for quite a while and you're ready to sell it, we've talked previously about capital gains tax. One way that you can not necessarily avoid capital gains, but lessen the blow from it, if you will, is to sell your property with owner financing. And what that can do for you is, rather than get all of the proceeds from that sale at one time and have to pay capital gains on that whole big chunk, and then have to wonder about, well, where am I going to put that money that might earn a decent interest rate? Owner financing can create a situation where you collect a down payment from the home buyer, and that down payment can be enough to, I don't know, pay for some things that you want or need to do, maybe pay for real estate commissions if that's a part of it, can give you a little bit of that money up front. You'll be taxed on the down payment part of it, and then you are acting as the bank for the one who bought your house. So the person who buys your house will then make payments to you, typically at an interest rate. Well, it can be whatever you want it to be in the way of an interest rate, whatever you and the buyer agree to. But it'll be more than you would normally earn by just putting it on deposit at your local bank. And the terms can be whatever you and the buyer agree to. It could be a regular 30-year mortgage. It could be amortized over 30 years, but you agree that they're going to pay it off with a balloon payment after 10 years or 5 years. It can be just whatever you and the buyer agree to. And you pay capital gains a little bit at a time. It's not a big giving over of all of it there at once. And you're earning interest on that money, again, typically more than you would earn if it were on deposit. Now, you could do owner financing even with your principal residence. Now, with your principal residence, you've lived in it 2 of the last 5 years, you're not going to have to pay capital gains anyway, but you could be in a situation where you're selling your house and you're going to get a large lump sum of money there at the end. And same situation in regards to what are you going to do with it that might earn you some interest. And if you don't need that money right now, you could finance it for the buyer, and then the buyer could pay you an interest rate that makes you feel good. It can be a very secure investment because with owner financing, again, you're acting as the bank. If the buyer doesn't make payments, you can foreclose on it, just like a mortgage company would. You can take ownership of the house and then sell it to somebody else, maybe owner finance it again. So it's a secure, it can be a little bit of a hassle to have to foreclose, and you want to be real careful who you're financing the property for. You want to know that they have a very good chance of paying you back, that they have good credit, and that you're confident. But I have heard of people selling their houses that way, kind of hoping that the buyer wouldn't make payments. Don't hear that very often, but they've collected a large down payment, and I've heard of them hoping that they don't make the payment so they can take the property back and sell it again. So owner financing could be a real win-win for sellers and buyers. It's attractive to people who want to buy property, who don't want to go through maybe quite as rigorous of a process as they would have to go through with a mortgage company. It could be a win-win on both sides. Definitely worth thinking about, and I thought I'd share that with you today. Next time I'm going to talk about private lending, which is like owner financing, has nothing to do with your properties though. It's just you willing to be a bank for someone else who wants to buy real estate. Talk to you then.